Good afternoon, everybody. Sorry it was late today. We wanted to get on around 12. I had to get settled in from work and other things, but I appreciate you guys being here. Let me pull up what I need to pull up. I had to charge my device, so had to get that time to charge. Um, but yeah, now we're in business. I appreciate you guys for being here. Appreciate all the support of late. Um, well, let's go to. I should have did it yesterday. I had actually had more time. I got off earlier from work yesterday. I probably should have just did it yesterday, but I already said Thursday, so I said I'd do it Thursday. NFL preseason starts tonight. Um, we look at the MLB standards, of course, and we're gonna talk about Luka and the Lakers. As Luka got his extension, it's been about a week now, I think. Um, I did talk a little bit about it on a short, but I'll go a little bit more detail about it. And just thank you guys for being here. We got a lot of. I said August was going to be a big month, so I've got that new Mafia the Old Country game. So that might be what we feature tomorrow in Friday night streams. I gotta look at the game and see how it is. So we might feature that tomorrow night. But if not, it'll probably be some random game um, tomorrow night. Try to do something I haven't. Try to make the list as long as possible. Switch games. Uh, and then Saturday, I'm gonna do a special stream of college football 26 as I'm playing with the Florida Gators in the little season. So in the dynasty. So that's the next what's up for the next couple of days. The next vlog will probably be Tuesday, because Tuesday is my day before I go back to work. At Tuesday, like I said, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday is always a good day to do it in the morning. These daggone flies flying in my face. Um, so Tuesday will probably be episode 304. Of course, this is episode 303, and today's date is August 7th, 2025. I had to think. I know yesterday was the 6th, so. Um, yeah, so sorry about the lateness once again. This ain't gonna be long. Like I said, the summer is not really a lot of sports to talk about. If you look at the mainstream sports news, they pretty much make up topics. It's not really a lot going on. Um, but I'm glad the NFL preseason started tonight. So we'll look over all those games, um, and probably touch on a few storylines in the NFL as well. But let's go ahead and look at the MLB standings first. Get that out the way. It's kind of changed um, between, like, I say, from the mid June to now. It's really changed. A lot of teams have made some moves. Um, like the Milwaukee Brewers are playing outstanding baseball. The Blue Jays, see what they're doing. They're probably the two best teams right now as we speak today. The Yankees has fallen off. My Braves ain't doing nothing this year. The Mets and the Phillies, quietly, kind of quietly, because a lot of people, well, they still get talked about, um, but like I said, those two teams are solid. The Dodgers do what they do. So other than that, things has pretty really changed. Blue Jays in first place in the American League East. They got a 4-game cushion now as Boston, another team, has turned it around. It's 4 games out. Yankees, who's been sliding, they're now 6.5 out. And then Tampa and the Orioles +10. Tampa's 11. Orioles are 15.5. Blue Jays, like I said, they got the talent. As far as on the hitting side, this is going to be their pitching. It's going to have to step up if they're going to really be a contender to be. But they playing well. You got to give them credit. Will they hold on to this division? Possibly. I think Boston is for real as well. Like I said, this has always been a competitive division since whenever. Um, so we'll see if the Yankees can bounce back. But right now, the Blue Jays is probably the hottest team in baseball right now. Um, Detroit Tigers, they in first place in the Central. They got a 6-game lead over the Cleveland. I'm about to call the Indians. It's the Guardians. I still get that mixed up sometimes. Kansas City Royals 8.5, and then you got Minnesota 11. Chicago White Sox is 23. So I think Detroit gonna hold on, but Cleveland been creeping. Detroit also is cooled off a little bit. So, um, but yeah, we'll see how this division works out at the end. AL West, Houston Astros once again. Can they hold off the Mariners and the Rangers? That's going to be the question for the rest of the season. Rangers are now over 500. They 4.5 back. Seattle just 2 back of Houston. Then you got the Angels 9, and the A's are 14.5. As I mentioned, the National League East is the Phillies and the Mets. Now the Phillies got a 2.5 game lead. That's probably the biggest lead they had in a while. Um, the 2.5 game lead over the Mets. Then you got the Miami Marlins, who's quietly having. I mean, they still at 500, but they having a pretty good year. Um, then you got the Nats and the Braves. My Braves 17.5. The National, excuse me, is 19.5. As a Braves fan, I'm wearing my Braves hat today. I'm gonna go ahead and declare it. I think we're done. I don't think we're gonna make the playoffs. I think the hole is too big. I think the wild card they more than 10 games back also. I'm gonna have to chalk this up for this year. Uh, so your favorite team is the Nationals, huh? The Nationals though they got. I mean, of course this year they where they are, but they done some nice things. They fall system not bad. Um, I just wish they'd have kept that. Juan Soto. They had when they won the championship. Well, Steven Strasburg wound up just being injured, but that was a good team. Max Scherzer. They had some good players there, and I don't know. They just let it slip away. Bryce Harper. They should have paid Bryce Harper. They let him go. Um, so yeah, the Nationals. But I think they're gonna. I just give them a year or two. I think they'd be sort of at least back in contention. Um, but the National League East is also with the Phillies and the Mets because they spend money. So yep, 2019. Yep. Um, yeah, they spend money, so they always going to be competitive. My Braves, like I said, my Braves are up and down. You look at our lineup. I just don't understand this year why we're so bad. I know our pitching has been up and down also, but yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean, just hanging there. I think they'll be back in a couple years. National League Central, the daggone Brewers. What's going on with the Brewers? First team to 70 wins this year. Got a full game lead over the Cubs. But the Brewers has been a contender for the last couple of years. Um, I'm a Ravens fan. I'm a Ravens fan, buddy. Yeah, I'm a Ravens fan, man. I'm from Baltimore. I'm a Ravens fan. Um, Sorry for my Ravens. I'm guessing you're a Commanders fan. Hopefully they get Terry signed. Um, I think y'all. I mean, I think they got to get him signed. If not, um, I still think Jay Dallas will be okay. But Terry kind of makes that offense go. I don't understand it. I don't know why NFL teams do this. All you got to do now in today's game is just pay them early. Just go ahead and pay them. You might gotta overpay for them at the time, but in 2 3 years, it's a bargain. We made the same mistake as the Ravens. We should have played Lamar after he won his first MVP. We let his contract drag to his final year. He had another big year. We had to give him more money. So I think if you see any type of potential in your player, just go ahead and risk and pay him. Because if they do wind up being what you think they could be, you're going to save money because every year the cap and everything go up. So I don't understand why NFL teams wait around like what Dallas do with Micah, but Dallas do it all the time. This one feels different though. I got a feeling Micah could wind up being out of there. It don't feel like Dak or any of the other ones. So now I was going to touch on that later on in the blog, but yeah, I hope I like the Commanders though too. But I'm in my 40s, so when Washington won their first Super Bowl, well, it was their first one. Um, in '93 when they beat Buffalo, that's when I really started to watch football. And I liked that team with Mark Ripken and Art Monk. I mean, I was telling my age, but uh, what they was called that other name. Um, I was a fan of theirs because our team didn't come. The Ravens didn't come till '96. So, oh, you was at that game, the Hail Mary game. Yeah, that was crazy. I watched that game live on TV. I couldn't believe it. That was I know that had to be a good moment for you. And the Bears messed up because they was already celebrating like they weeks well probably like a couple of days later, they were showing the D uh, um, messing with the crowd and all that stuff. Yep. And the NFC Championship, yeah. Now I was shocked they got there. I thought Detroit, even though Detroit had a lot of injuries, that was a big win when they beat Detroit in Detroit. Um, and they gave Philly a run for their money also. Like I said, I still think if Terry, I think somehow they're gonna get it done. But if he's not there, I still think they're gonna be a decent team with Jalen. So, um, but yeah, y'all got a good shot. Philadelphia though, that's going to be, of course, they're the defending champions, but they ain't really lose anything. So I expect them to be right there again. So it's gonna be y'all and the Eagles. I don't even if they get Micah, I don't trust Dallas. Even though they got Pickens from Pittsburgh, but I think he's a little bit of a knucklehead. So I don't know how that's going to really work out. Um, the Giants, they still rebuilding. So, but I like what they doing too with the young players they got. But they still a couple years away. So I think it's going to be between y'all and the Eagles. And Jalen Hurts, you gotta give him his credit. Um, he's been dismissed too long. He's an elite quarterback. Now he got a good team around him. Like Saquon Barkley is unbelievable. AJ Brown, of course, and uh, the young kid on the other side is I'm drawing a blank, but they got a good team on offense. The offensive line is probably the best in the NFL. Um, yeah, who they draft? Jackson Dart, right? Yeah, I think the Giants drafted Jackson Dart. I thought when they made the trade, I thought they was going to get Shador when they traded up to the first round to get him, but um, yeah. But they got veteran quarterbacks. They got Russ and Jameis Winston, so they're going to be somewhat competitive because of that. Um, but the Giants are still some years away. I like the young receiver they got. He's going to be real, real good. But yeah, really, y'all just got to worry about the Eagles. Really, honestly, that's all. Thanks for commenting. You making the show go a lot more smooth. I'm not even going to worry about the MLB standings anymore. I was going through them. Um, I'll just go through the wild cards real quick, and then I'm gonna touch on the Luka situation. So, is you a Wizards fan? Since I'm about to talk a little basketball, are you following the? I know the Wizards been having some rough years um, in basketball, but let's see. Oh, so in the American League, the top wild cards are Boston, Seattle, the Yankees, Cleveland, Texas is game and a half. Um, Kansas City, Tampa, Minnesota, then the Orioles. I'm also an Orioles fan. I told this story 1,000 times. I'm a Braves fan because I grew up watching the Braves, but like I said, I live in Baltimore, so I'm an Orioles fan also. I used to get flack for that, but Cubs, Padres, Mets, they are the three top wild card teams in the National League. So, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, Orioles a little bit been a little down this year as well, a little disappointing. Had a few injuries, but the Orioles' problem has been the same problem for 30 years. They pitching just never holds up. So yeah, they just traded Mullins. They traded him to the Mets. Yeah, yeah, he was a long time Oriole. Yeah, they just traded him to the Mets, so that helps the Mets out a lot. Um, but the Orioles just gotta stay patient, just like Washington. Just gotta stay patient. I think they got rid of Ryan Hearn as well. So, um, but the young core is still there. Jackson Holiday and Gunnar Henderson, Adley Rutschman. They like they cornerstones guys right now. So I guess they're going to try to build around him. Cedric was still kind of young too. I don't think Cedric was 30 years old yet. Um, so that's why I was a little bit surprised they let him go. But the Orioles just gotta stay patient. They got a good farm system. We just gotta get a pitcher, man. Like I wish Corbin Burns would have left. Um, they need a solid pitcher. Uh, he was probably in the last 10 years. He's been the best pitcher we had. He only stayed with a year here, so. Um, but I don't know how the farm is, but they need pitching for sure. Oh, your mom got a Ravens jersey. um, oh, J Double, what's up, man? Uh, I got a Derek. Somebody bought it for me. I got a Derek Henry jersey. But my favorite Ravens player is, believe it or not, I like Lamar. Of course, everybody loves Lamar, but Kyle Hamilton on defense. Um, that's my favorite player right now today for the Ravens. Oh, it's a Ray Lewis jersey. Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, Ray was, well, you know about Ray. He was a cornerstone of this franchise. He basically is our franchise. Um, him and Avery. I put Terrell Suggs in there. Even though what happened with Justin Tucker, he's still like a, an all-time great Raven, despite what happened with him. Yeah, he's my favorite. Okay, bro. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for the support. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. I like going back and forth with you. So hopefully I'll be back on Tuesday to do the blog. So if you got time on Tuesday, we can talk more. I wasn't going to be on here that long anyway, because there's not really a lot to talk about. I'm just going to go. Matter of fact, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. I'm gonna go through these preseason games, and I think I'm gonna. I got some things I gotta do myself today. So, did my phone die? I think it did. Yep. Yep. I think my device died, so I can't even look at the games that I want to look at. But to touch on the Luka Doncic date real quick. You too, bro. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for supporting, man. I really appreciate it. Like I said, hope to see you again here. Like I said, Tuesday to be in the morning. It'd probably be like a 10 a.m. show. That's my normal time I usually go on. But I had to work today, and I didn't get off till 10:30 to 10:45. So then I had to come home and do some things. But 10 a.m. is usually my regular time. So 10 a.m. Tuesday, I'll be back. It'd be a longer show probably also, because we have preseason football to talk about. But the Lakers, man. Well, I ain't gonna touch LeBron too much because people always talk about LeBron. LeBron is, it's just a passive aggressive guy. I think it's been overblown that he didn't. Okay, bro, you take it easy. I think it's overblown that he didn't go to the press office to introduce Luka with the new extension. It's the off season, so I don't expect him to always be close to the team. He might wasn't even in Los Angeles. Who knows? I think he said he went fishing or something. I don't know. But I think that's been a little overblown. Now the Jordan debate thing, and what he said about what did he say? He said something, but yeah, I mean, I just think he's just like a lot of other things in sports. He's always talked about. But I think I like Luka. Luka's one of my favorite players. So we knew they was going to He's going to get an extension. They just got to build a team around him right. He looked like he's in shape this year. He been playing for his national team. He's been touring. He was in New York doing things, enjoying this off season. So I think the Lakers, they're going to, just because of Luka, they're going to be some type of contender. But like I said, OKC ain't going nowhere. The Spurs are going to be better. Houston with the Durant, even though you can. That's a whole nother topic about Kevin Durant, but he still can put up 30 points, and Houston needed that. So it's going to depend how he fit in. I think Udoka, I'm not going to let Houston slip, so they're going to be a problem. Um, so the West is still strong. Minnesota with Ant Man, they ain't going nowhere. So it's a lot of the West is stacked still. But I think the Lakers got as good a chance as any to even go further than they did last year. Now, I've been hearing some stuff about JJ Redick. Is a little over his head. That basically it was just LeBron. But now that new ownership, plus all this is coming out because this new ownership, the Buses sold the Lakers, so this new ownership don't got really no loyalty to nobody. So it's gonna be interesting to see. And LeBron is the type that like power, so if he's told no, um, we'll see how that winds up. This is last year. This contract look like he's not going to sign an extension with the Lakers. So, but Luka deserves it. Yeah, he got to get over the hump with certain things, but he's still a top 5 player in this league. It'd have been stupid not to sign him to an extension. So you knew that was going to happen. So, my other device died, so I wanted to touch on these preseason games, but me being a Ravens fan, we played the Colts tonight. Colts got some issues at their quarterback position. I like Anthony Richardson. I'm a Florida Gators fan, so I've been following Anthony Rich for a while. Yeah, it didn't look good when he checked himself out the game last year. He's also been injured a lot, but I think by raw talent, he's the best guy for the job. But I think he's one of the type of quarterbacks he needs reps. So Anthony Richardson, he needs reps. So okay, buddy. Who the Commanders play the preseason? Did they play tonight? I know it's games from now all the way till Sunday. I know Cleveland play tomorrow night because Shador. Okay, the Patriots. Okay, yeah. New England, they got a good quarterback, and I like Drake May. I like him. And I think the Draymond hire was a good hire for them. I didn't like that they fired Gerard Mayo, but I understood it. Draymond got more experience, but New England, well, the East period, New England and the Jets. There are 2 teams that could be sleepers this year in the AFC. Because really, the AFC is top heavy. It's the Ravens, it's the Chiefs, and it's the Bills. Everybody else got questions here and there. Those 3 teams going to be there. But I think after those 3 teams, you can pretty much argue for almost anybody. Houston, a lot of people like Houston. I like Houston too. I just still think they're growing a little bit. I still would put them a tier below Buffalo, Baltimore, and Kansas City. But after those 3 teams, the AFC, there's some good teams out there. A lot of people was on the Chargers. They look good. The Hall of Fame game. I think John Harbaugh going to get Herbert right. So, Denver is another team to look out for also. If Bo Nix take a leap in his second year. Pittsburgh and Aaron Rodgers. Of course, Cincinnati. If their defense gives them anything, Cincinnati's going to be an issue as well. They already announced they're going to play they starters during the preseason so they can avoid a slow start. That's cool. But Jalen Daniels, he's going to be. Honestly, he exceeded my expectations. I didn't say he was going to be bad, but to get off to the start that he got off on, I was still surprised by that. But these LSU quarterbacks, though, him, Joe Burrow, they got. Well, they just a talented. They got talent all over the place. But what he did at LSU was amazing, and then He did pretty much the same thing in the NFL. Um, all right, well, okay, all right, bro. Thanks for coming back through. I was about to ask. I think y'all gonna be a better team, but uh, I don't know. Hopefully, y'all. I don't know. I mean, you probably confident they gonna get back to the NFC Championship game. I still like Detroit. Um, they had a lot of injuries last year, but Washington is right there. I guess me being kind of older, I mean, I've seen this happen before, and I don't believe this about Washington per se, but not saying it was a lucky, this it was only 1 year. Can they, basically they'd be like Buffalo, like they good, but they might lose in the divisional round, but they probably was a better team than they was last year. You know what I mean? So that's all I mean with them. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't make it back, but I wouldn't be surprised if they, like this guy just said, in the Super Bowl. They could. They got the talent. But they got to get Terry though. Terry is important. They got to get Terry side. Um, they do that. They definitely right there with everybody else in the NFC. He said, "Nah, yeah." I mean, like I said, the NFC really other than Philadelphia, it's pretty much wide open. Also, like I said, Detroit is, you got to give Detroit their credit, but after that, like I said, I don't really trust Dallas. I don't really trust. Uh, Minnesota's interesting. They got the talent, but can JJ McCarthy really run that offense? If he can, then Minnesota's a team to look at. Green Bay with Jordan Love, I think Jordan, he got to cut the turnovers. But what other contenders out there? The South, other than Tampa, I think Atlanta gonna be better this year. Um, but other than Tampa, though, nobody in the South you really fear. And out west, I was seeing today that Matthew Stafford got an injury. He ain't practiced all camp. So if he gets he's older, so he needs to practice. So the Rams San Francisco might be back, but they offense, other than Christian McCaffrey go down again, they offense is too inconsistent. So basically, like I said, the NFC is wide open. Philadelphia is the only team you can say, all right, if they, that they're going to be there. But everybody else got a lot of question marks. So the Commanders could be right back there, or could break through and make the Super Bowl this year. It wouldn't be surprising to me. Because the NFC is wide open in a good way. There's a lot of good teams, but a lot of question marks also. Like a lot of people keep trying to put Green Bay, and I like Jordan Love. I think Green Bay is a good team, but that was everybody's Super Bowl pick last year, and I was like, I didn't understand that. Like, how can you put them over, even though the Niners fell apart, but over the Niners, over Philadelphia, Detroit? I thought Detroit was going to make it last year. That was my pick last year to make the Super Bowl, but they fell short, obviously. So, yeah. All right, but we had a little good back and forth. I liked it. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. About 30 minutes in, but Tuesday will be a longer show. We have more to talk about because we'll look at some of the preseason games and things of that nature. Jordy, I'm gonna call you Jordy. If I pronounce your name wrong, let me know. Thank you for coming through, commenting. You made the show a little interesting. We got into some Commanders talk. So thank you for coming through. Wilhelm, thank you also for commenting. The Commanders in good shape, though. Y'all in good shape. Y'all going to be good for the next 10, 15 years. So y'all going to eventually break through to the Super Bowl, I believe, if y'all stick behind Jalen. And pay him early. Go ahead and pay. In fact, I would try to, definitely after this year, I would go ahead and pay him. I would go ahead and pay Jalen Daniels. I would pay him now. But I think you got to at least wait till your second or third year of your contract. So I would go ahead and pay him. Like, I wouldn't wait, especially if you have another monster year this year. But thank you guys for coming through. Actually, tomorrow night, Friday night streams. Like I said, I might do Mafia. The new Mafia game come out tonight, well midnight. I might stream that tomorrow. If not, it'll be another game for Friday night streams. Saturday special stream, college football 26. I play as my Florida Gators. So join me 8 o'clock p.m. those 2 nights. So Friday and Saturday night, and then I'll be back Tuesday with the blog at 10 a.m. We'll talk about some preseason football, and if other news break between now and then, we'll talk about that. So thanks to everybody who popped their heads in. Thank you to everybody who commented, even though I see some of the comments was kind of crazy, but I adored them. But that's all good. I mean, I get it. But thank you guys, man. Thank you for supporting the channel. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Y'all have a great rest of the week. I'll see you guys tomorrow night for Friday night streams. And I'll see you guys right back here Tuesday, Talk More Sports. I was Troy West said, thank you so much for watching the Solid Sports and Gaming channel. Episode 303 is done. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night. If y'all gamers, join me tomorrow night also. Peace and love, guys. I'll see you guys. Thank you.